and if it shows on up, no coastline, so these teams kind of don't want to go for a frag type of game, and I think that is important, but it also takes out Oregon as well, so the two ends of the spectrum gone, and we're slowly whittling away to where these teams really want to do battle, so a lot of popular maps off the board straight up.
I mean, thank God I don't have to cast another Villa today. That would have been certainly something, right? Bank and Chile are going to follow. Obviously, Bank replacing Consulate on the map pool. If you haven't tuned in earlier, well, that's exactly what has happened. Cafe will be taken off the board as well, which means Clubhouse. Now, the interesting thing about this V is that I want to say that this is up there with Oregon in terms of the maps that you're going to scrim over and over and over again, because it is the perfect mix between that sort of teamwork aspect. Obviously, you need a lot of that to get mainly the CCTV walls open or maybe to push down dirt. But also, I mean, it allows you to work on your aggression as well, because there are so many points of contact. I'm thinking about the garage rafters where your aim needs to be on point. Otherwise, you're going to give up a huge position and put your team at risk.
Yeah, there's a certain changes that came to Clubhouse that actually make it easier to help teams kind of adapt. My first thing is the lounge ceiling. Now, only parts of it are soft, so it indicates kind of where you really need to Zofia trick, Ash trick, any type of that to shut down Bandit, who's also had a little bit of a comeback because Mute did have his radius change, so he really won't get the entire wall, and he'll leave open certain spots, and obviously you don't want that. So Kaid, Bandit, those are the people that we really might see. But Kaid, another popular ban pick, and if he makes it through, usually a Maverick might get banned. But obviously, these teams might have certain strategies in mind that kind of have to revolve around them.
I mean, the Maverick is going to be huge, right? The ban phase just tells you exactly how Clubhouse is going to go because, the ban phase, obviously, it just shifts around so many of the strategies. But now that that Clubhouse revolves around the walls so heavily, taking out someone like a Thermite or taking out someone like an Ace can prove to be huge. But I'm expecting this first ban to go exactly how we think it's going to go. But Tachankas Angels mulling it over a little bit. But if I see Thatcher at the end of it, I'm going to scream. I'm not going to blow your ears up right now.
Please don't.
There it is. There it is.
You already blow out my ears enough because in our audio client, you peak very, very often, and it hurts my ears, Santos. But I deal with it. I make sure that you get all your yells out, and you can stop yelling because we might get that Maverick Kaid ban, so that might mean a little bit more of a different type of play when it comes to Clubhouse. But no immediate Kaid ban, so that means that Tachankas Angels, they're either going to be forced to ban the Kaid or essentially leave those hatches absolutely electrified.
I would love that for Tachankas Angels, considering that they are starting on the defensive side. That really opens up all of the bomb sites, if we're going to be completely honest here. Those Kaid Electroclaws have so much flexibility in where they cannot be placed. Obviously, you can just throw them around the map all willy-nilly. But that doesn't seem to matter because Kaid is going to be banned out, like you were alluding to, right, V? And that means we're going to see either a Bandit, we're possibly going to see a Mute, but that also means that the bottom floor bomb site, that basement, is going to be that much more dangerous to defend. It's going to be very hard for Talentless to work with those hatches, and especially with Habana being up as well. I think that overall the ban phase is making a huge difference here.
Yeah, and already going into that 6th pick. So a lot of information when it comes to intel, roamers, and just destruction overall. You can see 4 operators, kind of, Ace can be soft destruction, more hard destruction oriented with that IQ as well. So a lot of it right now is just to shut down anything on that defensive side when it comes to utility. You see a Rooney, Mute, and Jaeger. Those are really the 3 that are going to be very, very important. And the IQ as well of May could be very, very integral in finding out these Mozzie pests, possibly going underneath and lounge, doing one little pop up to the floor, and that Mute Jammer is simply gone. No Ash, no Flores drones hopping on the ceiling, and suddenly you have a lot more utility to use to deal with these surrogates, to deal with these other Mute Jammers that are going to be placed.
Well, Talentless have all the tools on the board, but that certainly doesn't take away from what Tachankas Angels have brought as well. We're actually seeing Peach not playing on that alibi. She's actually opting for that Aruni, which is a very strong operator in her own right. Now, those Aruni gates can make such a huge difference, and I love the placements that she's putting them on as well. Denying that sort of balcony, that highway window is going to be crucial for them if Talentless decide to go for a construction slash master bedroom sided take. But it seems like, well, they want to sort of divvy up the introductions that they are trying to make onto the map, but they have to deal with Ice Rocker, who's playing from down below. Unfortunately, nothing will be traded between the two, and May is going to go hunting. But the drone work has been absolutely brutal, and unfortunately for Ice Rocker, just not able to win that out. She will be the first pick.
Yeah, Mozzie gets fascinated with drones, but there's a certain point where you just gotta ignore them. You gotta realize that your hobbies will get you killed at some point.
Don't make fun of my boy.
That's not a real life application. I hope. Please don't take that as like a moral. Do what you love, but in this case, Mozzie just needs be a little bit more careful around his electric pests. Now we do see that mute jammer of the wall gone, so Ace should be able to open that one up, and this Flores drone is going to be able to destroy a lot of utility once that wall is open. So Jay Holiday behind that shields needs to be very, very careful. Along with Stephos, construction wall into logistics is open, so a lot of entry points for Talentless to possibly peek into these sites. We can see Dawn trying to fire away, no damage done to either of them, but it is enough to really scare off Stephos just for the time being.
Dawn seemed to have flexed onto that secondary entry role, and I'm loving this sort of switch up for her because she has been found in a bunch of positions where she may be a little bit detached from the rest of her team, but allowing May to sort of hunt down that kill and droning in for her proved to be very profitable, as Ice Rocker was obviously the first person to go down, and that seems to continue as Stephos is going to fall as well. It seems like Talentless are just finding Tachankas Angels, maybe doing some ill-advised rotates, and unfortunately for them, that's not the sort of positions that they want to be caught in. Now, 50 seconds remaining in Flog. We know how strong this position inside of the garage can be, but she has to contend with some Rotero drones as well. Just all of the things inside of this round are crashing down amongst her, but actually the pressure seems to have been alleviated. J-Night Owl looking for this final kill, but not seeming to find the angle. She does get damaged a little bit in Flog. This is such a strong position to hold if you are, well, sitting on that Jaeger. That Rafters can prove to be deadly, and with Talentless limited to only some very close range angles that they have to fight through, that could potentially spell a lot of danger. May will fall. Dawn has taken a lot of damage as well, and Jay Holiday with that shotgun, well, it's going to be hard to push, and a lot of time being wasted here for Talentless, but they have to send it up now. Dawn will eventually get that finish, and Talentless, despite the little bit of misplays there in the ending stages there, they're able to pull things out and take the lead in this game.
And it seemed that actually holding Rafters was very, very integral. It really held off Talentless for a good 30 to 40 seconds. And especially once Jay Holiday got the shot onto what I believe was May in construction, another entry point for Talentless got shut down. And just a couple more kills, possibly a couple more key positions had gone to Tachankas' way, the round could have definitely went their way. And that excites me because I know that, what we see with the positioning possibly of Flog, that Tachankas Angels definitely have the power to come back and take a lot more rounds than they have this entire season. I just need Ice Rocker to, get around, make sure to be a little bit more of a sneaky roamer, create that paranoia that a roamer is exactly supposed to do. The second shot, going on that Legion, and I think for what Tachankas are bringing, having that Legion, making sure they've got a little bit of those proximity alarms along with the Melusi, that is just going to create a lot of hell for Talentless, but the problem is they have so much to deal with it.
It's funny that you actually bring that up, and I love that you brought up Ice Rocker being felled very early because, well, you're not doing what the roamers are designed to do, right? You mentioned it yourself. They are designed to be on the map to go ahead and waste time. If they pick up kills, cool. that is a bonus. You can consider that a extra dub in the book, but really you are on the map to just direct the attention away from the members of the defense and allow for your own defensive members to try and catch you off guard. That is something that Tachankas Angels definitely were trying to lean towards, but obviously with Ice Rocker falling a little bit early, that definitely wasn't the case. And it seems like, well, she's going to be in that early engagement once again. She has the drones to deal with, but I'm not sure if she's actually gone droned inside of the lounge. May seems to be aware of it, but that really doesn't, that there really is no confirmation until they eventually actually get it droned out.
Yeah, but the drone being put all the way into bar, it is going to spot Ice Rocker. They're going to fire off away, and just not going to do enough damage. May is going to fire them off, and they're going to have 100 bullets left in that LNG. You can see the army of drones that are underneath, and now because you have lost the Mozzie for the Legion, those drones can go absolutely interrupted. There's no mute as well, and that is a very, very big thing because it's allowing a team like Talentless, who's really feeding off this information, to go absolutely buck wild. You can see just entering on through there, able to get this wall open, and if they clear out Rafters in an efficient amount of time, unlike last round, it's going to fall apart faster than a House of Cards.
100%. Flog is in just the most crucial position, right? We see Dawn switching onto the sledge, but yeah, these defenders from Tachankas Angels, they certainly have a lot on their plate. That all starts with Rafters, but it doesn't seem like they're really concerned with that. Actually, Peach telling us why she is the Tachankas Angels MVP, finding that kill with that P10 Roni. We were talking about it all last cast. That P10 Roni is absolutely just a demon send weapon when you are able to land all of your shots. Now, if you start missing with them, then obviously the range drop off on that thing is brutal, and you are going to start dropping some gunfights. But it seems like Peach, well, she's doing a great job at what I was talking about amongst roamers. She's doing a really good job at wasting the time with Talentless and forcing them to direct their attention. Otherwise, Peach is going to rain havoc once they start pushing onto the site.
Oh, there we go, and the P10 Roni, that lack of damage really coming on through there. It's not going to be enough to take out Midlight, and still Peach trying to re-peek that, trying to take out Midlight, and in the end, both of them just going to run for their lives, knowing that their life is worth a lot in both of these situations, especially Peach's. They are still alive, which means they could get the roam much later in this round. J-Knight's still alive, outside and alive. 20 seconds left, and this is where everything is going to come to really hell. Malicious outside, trying to get an angle onto Rafters to take out Flog as Midlight and J-Knight almost close to getting down. And suddenly, here we go, that heal is going on up, and there needs to be some way to enter into the site. Malicious finds two, and only one, and it's Flog and Peach, and now it's just up to Peach, one of the favorite fruits, and sadly, they're going to fall down on the red stairs, and it's Talentless taking another one, and it seemed like it just came down once again to a few key positions.
100%. Flog should have been able to watch into the CCTV breach there and did something about that so that the ace couldn't walk into the site for free. But yes, the kill is coming in at opportune moments, and Tachankas Angels, they did a really good job at wasting time. I thought that Talentless, well, they were cutting things close once again, but the story of today, V, has been the story of just explosive execution, and that's exactly what we saw from Talentless there. Once they knew that they had the opening, they didn't hesitate to just push on through and force Tachankas Angels into a retake situation. And unfortunately for Tachankas, just a little bit too much site pressure being given up early, and they find themselves down in the 2-0 hole.
And here we go, that basement site. Gym bedroom still available, but Tachanka's going for that basement site. It's a little better, especially for teams that, possibly like to anchor. We have seen a few roamers on the side of Tachanka's Angels. We've seen Rocker and Peach kind of spread themselves around, but still, because of the Legion and Malusi, if Stephos is able to place all of those goo mines around the site, and if they're able to once again waste down the time to, those 5 seconds even, those Legion mines come in so crucial. And that's the thing, is Tachankas Angels are bringing a lot of slow, stun, and just gadgets that really make the attack pause. You've got those Surya Gates, Legion Mines, Malusi, Banshee, Smoke Grenades, all 4 of those are in a way designed to slow down the enemy. And if Tachankas Angels can kind of make their way around that slow, patient style, then it really could work out for them. Just Ice Rocker needs to stay alive. Again, I'm getting really worried because once again, they've just been spotted and we're not even a minute in.
V, I feel your pain. I feel your pain. That is 3 rounds in a row where Ice Rocker has been the victim of a opening kill. But I'll tell you what, Peach, knowing the situation, knowing that players are playing inside of bar, looking for that kill onto May, but unfortunately it's not presenting itself. But Peach has been, well, she's been the MVP of this team, and that's for very good reason, right? But she is getting hunted down and unfortunately not aware of the fact that May was pushing on forward, and Peach will unfortunately be felled. And you talked about the slowing potential that the Tachankas Angels lineup has brought, but when you allow these 2 early kills to go onto the board so quickly, that kind of nullifies all of your slowing advantage, and we need to see, well, the anchors of Tachankas Angels have to pull something off here. They can't be sort of rerouted by the vertical pressure that's happening right now, otherwise this could be another talentless win.
Yeah, and because you had those 2 members down, Jay Holiday had to use all 3 smoke canisters and somehow find their way out of the site before they get blown up by explosive hockey bucks. You can see that fuse buff. It's not really being used here, but it is. Fuse is still definitely being used out here. Flog finding a shot onto May, but eventually they're going to take him down themselves. And Dawn over in blue is going to take out Stephos, and it's just Jay Holiday. No smoke canisters, having to reload. A drone knows their exact position, and the seconds are ticking down before they're eventually get taken down. Another one spotted their position. And yeah, that lack of Mute and Mozzie is really making its name known. Diffuser getting placed down, the shotgun going in to your left. Jay Holiday is not going to be able to whip that shotgun out in time, and it's still a talentless win.
That was just unfortunate for Jay Holiday. I was expecting her to get those 2 kills. You just got to take the shots when they present themselves. But to talk a little bit about the macro of that round, right? Talentless did a really good job at just forcing out all of the roamers that were on Tachankas Angel's side. And it started again with Ice Rocker, who was trying to get maybe a ratty kill going on behind the billiards window. Unfortunately, that just didn't present itself. When the drone work came out, there was already someone that pushed into the lounge entrance there, and that spelt all of her danger. So I'm looking for Ice Rocker to play in a little bit of a little bit more of a safer position, because when you're getting killed in the first 30 seconds of the round, that really nullifies any difference that you can make, even if you're bringing that solid utility. She's been playing some good utility operators, right? She's brought that Malusi, now she's on that Mozzie, but you can't move those drones if you don't have a body to do it.
At least you could say that the utility is something that you don't need to actively be alive for. Say Fuse, say Smoke, anything like those certain operators that actively need you to stay alive. So in the end, the Mozzie is able to get work, and you just saw that they were able to catch a drone. Don't exactly know if Talentless did the old catch a pest and hop right back out. So the Mozzie essentially wastes a pest, and you do lose a drone, but it's kind of one on both sides there. Yeah. Talentless wanting to go for their 4th round in a row here, Santos.
They can definitely do that, but I'm looking for Ice Rocker again. She's playing in a very compromising position, but what she is doing is being disciplined and trying to back on up and forcing Talentless into the crossfires that have potentially been established, right? She's playing alongside Peach, but she has to deal first and foremost with the fact that she's getting pinched on from multiple angles, and she might be overextending just a little bit, and there it goes. Dawn is able to open up the frags once again. We've been seeing this time and time again here, Light Rose. It's been just Ice Rocker being felled within the first minute of the round, and unfortunately, well, for Tachankas, that's not going to spell a lot of success. But with Peach playing in a very aggressive position in her own right, she's allowed to escape, and that was some very disciplined play from her, right? She escapes down the oil pit and forces Dawn to push on forward, and that's just a little bit more time waste there from Talentless's ever ticking clock.
Yeah, I expected Peach to get taken down there once that drone and spotted her. Dawn right around the corner, being a little bit cautious, and that does allow Peach to escape to wreak havoc for another day. right now, just Midlight having no contention at all, able to open up these sites. And if they open up the wrong one, oh, they could find a bullet to the face, but they're going to swap right back down to that bullet mode. The yellow ping's coming on out as they know somebody's right around the corner, but they just can't find the angles. It's one of the frustrations of playing that vertical play is you know someone is right around the corner, but whether it's the bar frames, whether it's the geometry of the map, you just can't find wherever you need to be. But obviously those fuse hockey pucks really doing the damage when it comes to utility, and there isn't too much utility for Night Owl to really take out. You could possibly only say Legion Mines, Jaeger ADSs, so not losing too much, but that is going to be a huge loss there.
Yeah, Jay Night Owl finding that kill onto Jay Holiday, that's not an operator that you can afford to lose early either. Those smoke grenades can play such huge dividends at the end of rounds, but unfortunately that will not be available to them. Now, Talentless have dropped into the armory, but the question is, what are they going to be able to do with it? And they're just looking for Stephos, who they know they have isolated inside of A, but there are other players from Tachankas Angels kind of lurking around, waiting for their moment to pinch down and try and get that kill onto namely Dawn. But Peach, she decides that she's going to send it back down towards Generator, but there's a little bit of overlap between those two players. The diffuser will get planted in the meanwhile. Flog goes down, and in a 2v5, yes, it is very tough between them and Tachankas Angels. Stephos will fall one more time, and Peach has to clutch this out with that P10 Roni. It doesn't seem likely. Excuse me. Wow. It doesn't seem likely. 25 seconds left to go. She could just try and make her way onto the site, but Dawn, with a perfect read onto her position, will pick up that flawless round from Talentless, and this is a Talentless that we haven't seen in a while, V. They have some momentum in this game.
Yeah, it's hard to say, is Talentless playing super well, or is just Tachankas Angels not really able to get where Talentless is? We're Zorton now, bring out the cap can, it's Project Eris way. If you're down, trap ops. No, it's the emergency button.
I love that.
We've seen it time and time again. Honestly, I don't blame people because they're not only fun, they can be effective as well. Now, I'm not expecting the cap can to really get much done because A, Talentless droning is on point, and B, there's an IQ in play. May has been whipping out that scanner, pinging out where these gadgets are, and the odds of getting even a single tick of damage done to anybody on that attacking team is very, very low.
I mean, May has been integral in other ways as well. You're looking at her, she's at 7 and 2, so that G8 has certainly been singing. But, well, I want to give a little bit of attention to Dawn as well. She's been in perfect position to catch out most of the kills onto not only Ice Rocker and really open up the entry, but also she's just been finding the sort of execution kills as well, right? She's playing a very good game of Siege right now, and that's really down to just, you know, the amount of freedom that she has in this team composition from Talentless. They give her the freedom to do basically whatever she wants. She can go hunt people down, and she's definitely shown that she is so capable of finding those kills. Right now, Talentless are on perfect track to get themselves their first win inside of Project Eris, which is something that both of these teams need oh so desperately. And right now, it's looking like it's Talentless's game, and with Tachankas Angels on that defensive side, I would hope that they can change their fortunes here pretty soon.
Yeah, well, obviously, sometimes when the sides swap, we do see a big change in momentum. Some of these teams are just better when it comes to certain sides, but obviously we can really only wait. Tachankas Angels still have 2 rounds to go where they could possibly win this one out. Ice Rocker has been spotted out by the drone, and they're either going to have to vacate the premises, but Dawn is directly watching that door, and they're staying inside of Cash, trying to peek this one out. Nice little spiffy black ice skin on that 9VIN. And this is a battle that they won!
Ooh!
What a first kill to get Dawn through the wall. And if that's Ice Rocker's only kill of the match, I have to say, what a kill.
I love the storyline behind it too. well, just like finally retaliating up against the person that has been responsible for most of your deaths. But unfortunately, the retaliation is short because Ice Rocker has been felled. The refrag is there from Malicious, and well, to Talentless, they've kind of displayed all of their cards throughout the game, of course, of this round. Right? They know that well, Tachankas Angels are defending this gym and bedroom side, and they want to send it horizontally. But well, unfortunately, you mentioned the Capkin, and well, it's kind of the panic button. Well, the panic button seems to be working because May took a lot of damage from that, and that can play dividends later on in the round when the guns start to, well, heat up.
Making sure that there aren't too many Capcan traps to spot out. You can see that those gadget pings, making sure that, you know, nobody else gets taken down, whether that is May, who one more Capcan trap and they are down for good, but everybody else still on flawless HP. They have a little bit of kneecap health to really give away. Jay Holiday starting to use those smoke canisters. The last one going on out. It should delay for about 15 to 20 seconds, but Midlight's flashes going on through, none left, but they still have 2 air jabs to go, and that could be very, very big because you do see Peach, who's waiting around on those red stairs, and they're going to back all the way off into bar, knowing that almost everyone on Talentless hears those snippy steps of the castle. And here we go. I talked about the time wasting of Tachankas Angels and how that really could benefit them. And here's where it all comes to a head. 4v4, Tachankas Angels still have yet to get around, and they're going to need to put this bomb down. Diffuser dropped right at the doorway. It's going to get picked right back up. That proximity alarm is going to get the job done. Jay Holiday finds one, and the hip fire is going to find the second. It's only Night Owl left, but they don't have the diffuser. And Tachankas Angels stop the 4-round momentum of Talentless.
That play from I think it was Peach on that castle in that last round was huge, right? Like, despite her not even being able to make it up those red stairs, that still diverted enough of the attention from Talentless for them to divert maybe 2 or 3 guns worth of information. Yes, they were able to, you know, push onto the site, but really they just met all of the different barrels that Tachankas Angels had established, and that is exactly how you want things to go. If you're Tachankas Angels, they're investing heavily into catching Talentless off guard and forcing their guns to really just look away so that, well, while Tachankas Angels are just sitting in the site looking pretty, their time is unfortunately running away from Talentless there. Yes, Talentless still on a 4-1 lead, but such a good recovery there from Tachankas Angels. And if they are able to escape this half with a 4-2 scoreline, there's no reason for me not to believe that, well, they can continue to pick things up on their attacking side. But I mean, we're back on the CCTV bomb site. This is a bomb site that hasn't really worked out for Tachankas Angels in so far. And what do we need to see from Tachankas Angels to make this one stick?
I think what has been seen is Ice Rocker did get the first kill of that match. You know, they were able to essentially somewhat do their job as a roamer, and Tachankas Angels got a round win. I'm not saying those two correlate, but if Ice Rocker's able to stay alive and or get a couple kills, that puts a lot of pressure on the rest of Talentless. And we've seen last round when Peach was just roaming near those stairs, I mentioned there was 2 air jabs still left in Midlight's pocket, and 1 or 2 of those could literally be dedicated just to make sure there is not a roamer sneaking up behind you. So Talentless definitely have mistakes that Tachankas Angels can definitely exploit. But the problem is they aren't alive long enough to really do that job. And Ice Rocker, there is definitely the hunt is on for them. The drone has spotted them, and they're just going to not going to shoot it away. And eventually, it is going to be May who's just going to sneak on up. And this might be a little bit of a play here as Ice Rocker's going to dip right behind the bar. The Yellow Pings, they're still alive for now. But oh, that new bar, that new door frame really going to come in handy in taking out this roamer. And there it is, Ice Rocker down on the floor and still haven't hit the 1-minute mark.
Again, it's just Ice Rocker falling so early time and time again, and I'm expecting these pinches from Tachankas Angels to come through a little bit sooner. That would potentially save Ice Rocker's life, right? Because, you know, she's spending all this time getting pinched on. She's just waiting for someone from the defense of Tachankas Angels to come through and alleviate a little bit of that pressure. But unfortunately, Peach just not there at the right time. And, well, they've read into the fact that Peach loves peeking around and just sitting in the basement waiting for someone on Talentless to respond to it. She wasn't expecting May at the top of these stairs, and well, Tachankas Angels, we were talking about how their roam game worked last round. Unfortunately, not so much this time.
Yeah, so it's still up to the roamers. They do have one C4 in the hand of Stephos, but Stephos still the only one yet to get a kill on the side of Tachanka's Angels. I need to be very, very aware that ZMU Jammer is going to clear that drone up for entry, and Mate relies a lot on those drones. We've seen their entry has been very, very big, especially when taking out Ice Rocker. It's the distraction of the drone combined with the intel that's just being given off to them. We are going to see 2 inside of construction, and Dawn might be allowed entry through the window, but nobody's exactly in cash, and Mate's just going to go on and take a lot of damage from that smoke canister, and she's going to take out Holiday for one. She's got a triple kill. She wants more, and the next up is Stephos. She's got so many bullets to work with Malicious. Gonna take that ace away, and it's only Flog left on the rafters, having to do so much with so little, and you can tell all of Talentless know that they are there. The window hop might come on through, but Flog making sure they at least get one on this round, and they're going to have to do so much more to take out the round and make sure they get a 4-2 split. But as they get spotted by Midlight claiming their first kill of the match, it is a 5-1 split. Good for Talentless, but at least Tachankas Angels was able to get technically a quarter of their rounds for the entire season. Actually, I don't know
when you word it like that, V. When you word it like that, V, I don't know.
I realized that when I said that, that probably was not a positive thing.
Yeah, that wasn't very nice of you.
I did not mean it to come out like that. That meant to be more of a positive thing.
I love you, V.
Yeah.
I just, well, I mean, you said it exactly right? Like, Tachankas Angels, yes, finding that round is all well and good, but unfortunately, that's just something that hasn't presented itself throughout the season. Meanwhile, Talentless, well, they're finding a lot of domination that frankly hasn't shown up throughout the rest of their games. And yes, they've been dealt some very difficult cards, like having to play 2 games last week or whatever it may have you. But overall, I mean, this is a side of Talentless that we were wishing for last week when we were casting together. And I mean, they've shored up a little bit of their mistakes, that's for sure, and Tachankas Angels have done so as well. It just seems like, well, Talentless just looking a little strong right now.
Yeah, this attacking side, it's going to get a little bit of difference for Tachankas Angels because both Talentless and Tachankas Angels have that kind of one-round, room to breathe where both are kind of adapting to each other's play styles, where the peaks are, where the roams are. And I think the problem for Talentless is Ice Rocker's not going to be essentially a free kill. It shouldn't be, at least, because every single time Ice Rocker would be roaming around the map, someone would find her in 30-45 seconds, and it would be a 4v5, but that cannot happen now. The problem for Tachankas Angels is they have to find a roamer. And Ice Rocker leading the charge, going on and wanting to find that roamer of May, and especially with the drones that Tachankas Angels have, there should be a way to find this out. We have a Jackal, we have a Yana, a lot of information for them to work with.
If there's one thing that I can definitely give Ice Rocker credit for is that she is unwavering. And what I mean by that is that, well, she doesn't hesitate to peek things twice. She's going to play in these positions because that's where she knows she has to be holding, right? Tachankas Angels put her in that position for a reason. And unfortunately for them, it just hasn't worked out so far. But I have to admit, I want to see their fortunes change. And it's all going to start with this drone game because Talentless are playing very isolated from one another. They have one in gym and they have one inside of construction. And well, it's going to be tough to flush May out of this position, but with there could be a crossfire coming from construction, but I don't think that's been established just yet. Yes, Peach is just sitting there for free. Dawn, meanwhile, has a position on the door now, so all it takes is a little bit of coordination between these two teams to really get the fragging going, but we're going to see a swing actually coming out from Talentless here pretty soon, and the positions have been given away. Do they know that someone has rotated into the bedroom is the question. The frag is going to buy that sledge of Peach just a little bit more time, but nonetheless, nothing has been traded so far. There goes the trades. Dawn will pick up Peach, but not before May is going to go down.
A little bit of buckshot gonna do it to Dawn, but it's not really about finding kills. It's about opening holes up, as you can see, as that Bandit battery is getting taken out, and Flog is going to be another casualty from the hands of J Night Owl. So not only do they have a struggle up red stairs because J Night is just hanging out right there, Malicious has a little bit of the pinch right inside of rafters. So playing a little bit of a dicey game is Tachankas Angels. One roamer, especially as well, was Ice Rocker has been
Oh,
doing
wow.
more damage with the buckshot of the bug than they have of most of these entire rounds.
I mean, that skeleton key is absolutely brutal, isn't it? But, well, Tachanka's Angels have to find a way to aggress onto the site somehow. Ice Rocker is doing a very good job of just staying alive inside the stock. But the question is, well, what time do you say it's go time and send yourself up to the red stairs? Because that seems like the only option that is going to be available to her. Jay Holiday has to win this fight onto the 90 angle, but none of the shots landing just yet. And, well, I think it's Malicious playing over there, and it's a very tough gunfight to win. There it is. The Raptors will have the advantage in this situation. The kill feed will light up blue as well, and Talentless, they're on match point.
And it feels like it is match point, and it seems like it's almost over at this point, because that was kind of the goal for Tachanka's Angels, was to kind of get that round where Talentless didn't know how Tachanka's Angels were going to attack and whether or not they could adapt for themselves. But now that that's happened, Talentless can afford to go to Gym Bedroom, a site where they're definitely prepared for. You can see the castle, the maestro, and all these operators set up to deny Tachanka's Angels. And the roamers have been so good on Talentless compared to Tachanka's Angels that shutting them down is really, it takes a lot of effort on their part. You can see having to dedicate the Jackal and the Yana, using those drones, and still able to run around the map, unlike Ice Rocker or Peach. It's that combination that they've given themselves because they can have that extra member.
Well, for Talentless, it's the beginning of the. They're going to try and close this one out here, right? They're sitting on 6-1. They don't want this match to strike on any further. But Tachanka's Angels, well, they've shown us a bunch of positive things, but the bad thing is for Tachanka's Angels is that those positive things haven't been on a string. And what I mean by that is that, well, they'll do one positive thing, but then unfortunately Talentless are there to pick up the refrag and they're right back to where they started, which is square one. I'm looking for Tachanka's Angels to string together a couple of positive plays, because you saw it in their solo round win that they have so far in this game, right? When they're able to string together a few amount of kills, or when they're able to throw off the timing of Talentless, that is where they really shine. They have the ideas together here, White Rose. It's just that the execution has not been there as of yet.
Yeah, and that's a good description of it. And Talentless does have it together, at least when it comes to kind of those default strategies, and that will always triumph over not really having a cohesive strategy, or a cohesive execution when it comes down to it. A little bit of fire going on, trying to take any bandit trickeries, but Malicious hiding away in the bathroom, using that toilet water possibly as a way to just douse out that fire, make sure that they're nice and safe. But Ice Rocker, once again, being that charging force in trying to take out these roamers, but they need to be very, very careful. You can see May firing that UMP through the drone hole, not able to find too many shoes, but it still does the damage of possibly spooking the rest of those roam hunters.
You said she doused herself in toilet water. I hope I'd never get to that position in my life.
Yeah.
Where, like, I'm on fire
yeah.
and, like, a toilet's the only thing available to me. I don't want to be there.
I mean,
But Dawn, making her way through the garage, has she been penciled down by the members of Tachanka's Angels? Are they watching their flank? It doesn't seem so, and Flog will be the victim of said flank. That 416 carbine is singing true, and unfortunately for Ice Rocker, her rough play day is going to continue as May pinches down from the bottom of red stairs as well. And Jay Holiday, she holds a very advantageous position. She could potentially get the down onto Dawn, and yes, she does. Question is, will they find anything more? We're currently sitting at a 4v2, but this is good positioning from Tachanka Angels. Jay Holiday sitting on highway, as well as Stephos, well, sitting inside of Logi, but they have to find a way to really coordinate their attacks together and force off the timing of Talentless, because right now that seems like a very tough task, and well, they're going to make me eat my words. They're going to shut that down immediately. Talentless are going to take this game 7-1. It was a very valiant effort from both of these teams, but Talentless, again, just a little bit too strong at the end of the day here today.
Yeah, and I think a good descriptor, or a good visual indicator of how this match kind of went, was that May herself had the entire amount of kills as Tachankas Angels. 12 to
Mhm.
12, even side.
Yeah.
And it's hard not to say that was rough for Tachanka's
Mhm.
Angels. It's hard going up against the only other team that does not have a win, has,
Mm.
technically double the amount of round wins that you do, and still falling 7-1.
Yeah, it's not a straight that you want to find yourself in, right? Because Tachanka's Angels, like this week, was one of their best chances to find a win. I don't want to make that sound grim, but going up against a win, well, not anymore, but they were lacking a win. It's a tough situation to find yourself in, and I'm just hoping that for Tachanka's Angels, the mental stays up. They are growing together as a team, and that is the mission that they've expressed to us a million times over. And I think that's something that we definitely showed today. Like I said earlier in the cast, right, V? Like they showed all of the main ideas. They showed a lot of the macro knowledge inside of the game. Unfortunately, just the execution was not there.
And I don't think it's going to get any better because they're playing Goo Goo Dolls next week. And that's a rough one to follow up
Yeah.
from Talentless. So gonna need to definitely have some sort of miracle to take down Goo Goo Dolls because they are a menace on their own. But
Mhm.
that is going to be it for the first match. We did see Talentless win over Tachanka's Angels 7-1 on Clubhouse. But remember, we're not done for the evening. We got one more, and sure to be a good one. We should see you right after the break.